Hi, welcome to this quick lesson. We're just going to talk about how to submit work in this class. I think that's something worth talking about. So let's say you go to the class and I say, okay, today lab 1.1 is due. This is the steps you would need to take to do it. First, you go to Google Classroom and click over here in classwork and look for the lab in the lab section. So let's say your lab is over here. Let's see, it's lab 1.1. I would click that. Now the next step is to do the lab, right? So obviously read about what the lab is. There's 5 lines drawn on this grid, recreate them over here. Anyway, when you're ready to do the lab, click on the actual code thing where it says P5 Web Editor, and it should take you over here. All right? Now, here's the key. Once you do this, once you've clicked in the lab, you have to see that this will always say my name to begin with because it's my code. So the first step that you'll always have to do is go to File and then duplicate it. Now that button will only be there if you're signed in. If you're not signed in, you won't see that duplicate button. But the first step is always duplicate it. So if you see my name in here, that means it's wrong. So you should see it like say like lab 1.1 line sketch copy, and then you should see your name right here. If you see my name, you have not duplicated it and it's not saving your work. Now the next thing is to do the lab. Now I'm just going to put in some fake code here. Let's do, all right, we have to draw some lines, 10, 10, 200, 200. Great. Let's do another line 50, 50, 100, 100. Great. And let's do one more line 300, 300, 60, 60. All right, let's see what we got here. Great, we got some cool looking lines, right? Sweet, I'm ready to submit. When you're ready to submit, make sure you save your work. So save it. All right. And what you're going to do is submit it over here. There's always going to be a submission form. Okay. So once you finish your lab, you go to the submission form. It's in the same place, right? Where the lab is. Remember, you have your like code and this is where you submit it. It says like lab submission. So we click that. And this will always be the same questions. And let me be clear about how you should answer it. The first thing says, what is your full name? Last name first. If I don't see your name, it's probably because you didn't put your last name first. I do everything in alphabetical order. So if your name is, I don't know, whatever, Mr. Dog, you should put like dog. Never mind, that makes no sense. But like my name is Benjamin Siegel, so I put Siegel, comma Benjamin. All right, make sure last name first. Pick your period, pick correctly. And this one, let's just be very careful here. It says, in 3 sentences or more, please describe what you learned. Not what you did, but what you learned, okay? It's not like, I learned something really cool. It's be specific. Like, I learned how to draw a line. I learned what the create canvas does. I learned what the draw function does. Who knows? But you have to write 3 sentences. If you don't write 3 sentences, if you write 2 sentences or 1 sentence, that will take you down by half. I will cut your grade in half. So if you get 100 on the assignment, you'll be cut down to a 50. But it's only 3 sentences. Anyone could do it. So you write 3 sentences. So like sentence 1, I learned about lines. Sentence, don't write the sentence 2 stuff. I'm just giving you examples. I learned, that's not how you spell learned, about how to create a canvas. Period. Remember, without a period, it's not a sentence. And the third sentence is, I learned that the P5 web editor is free and easy to use and auto saves all your work. I don't know. So that's 3 sentences. 3. See, period, period, period. If you don't write 3 sentences, I will always cut your grade in half. Now the next part says, please copy and paste a link to your lab. Now, this is where a lot of confusion was going. So let's go to here. So the link is right up here. This is the link. So you just copy and paste this up here. You go back over here, and that's what you put. Now, if you don't know how to copy and paste, just to tell you, you highlight the text. So scroll over and press Command C or Control C, all right? Once you've copied it, go over here and press Control or Command V, all right? Control V, and that will copy it over. That's it. A key you should know here is if you see my name here, that means it's not your code, that's my code. So when you copy and paste your code and it says my actual name there, that means you're sending me back my same code and you didn't save it. So make sure your name is here. If you don't see your name in the link, there's something wrong. Then just say how understandable you found things. It was super easy, and explain because I felt comfortable with what we learned. It was simple to do, and I made a house super easily. Whatever. So anyway, that's the form, and that's where you press submit. And that is how you submit all of your work. It doesn't matter what you're doing, this will always be the same. So once again, if you had to hand in your code creation, once again, you go to your code creation, you'll see that there's two things here. There's the code that you're gonna, like, remember, start and duplicate and then submit here. So if you're submitting the code creation, you click here. Remember, same thing. Start by duplicating it, right? It should change to your name. You do your coding. Okay, whatever it is, right? Make sure you save it. And you come back, and this is where, in the form, is where you're going to submit all your work. So you always duplicate your code, and then you submit it in the form. Duplicate your form, the code, and submit it in the form. Duplicate your code, submit it in the form. A lot of people were confused about that, so that's what this video is for. All right, good luck. I can't wait to see all the things you create.